5 years ago, we asked people to tell us the story of your town. We've been traveling and reporting.
We thought there must be something going on in America. People wanted to talk about their town.
What we saw, how towns rise and fall, has a lot to say to our world right now.
This was a depressed timber town.
Bend was really grasping for what was going to be next.
The past is the past, and Mississippi is striving for change.
We need to replace judgment with compassion, and we need to replace punishment with treatment.
We're a safe haven. We feed the kids. They think, oh, this is just a boxing gym. That's far from the truth. We are fixing what needs to be fixed around here.
Almost every place we went, people said, the U.S. is really in horrible shape. But here, things are really moving ahead. What's your secret?
We all come together.
If it can happen here in the poorest of all states, then the positive things are replicable elsewhere.
The story of my town is the American story of this era.
Hi there.
Hi.
There they are, Steve, Jeannie, Jeff in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Hi.
Hey, good to meet you.
Good to meet you too. Thank you for talking to me about our towns.
A pleasure.
Okay.
Well, I love this documentary. You know, I'm such a nostalgic American. You know, I watch Andy Griffith's show all the time. You know, so I just love Americana. And but this is Americana with a message and with a twist. And Jeannie, you know, 8 towns were featured in your documentary. And this portrait of America, it began with a best-selling book, didn't it?
That's right. James and Deborah Fallows wrote their book, Our Towns. I believe it came out in 2017, but they started it back in 2013. And they went to 50 towns. They only wrote about 25. And then the film does only 8 of those. But it's a fascinating book if you want to start there.
And Steve, when you asked people to tell you about their towns and their stories, did you see a lot of similarities?
Yeah, I mean, the thing, we weren't simply just kind of checking out the towns. We were really looking at things that people were doing to try to address some kind of problem or issue, whether it's, you know, personal level, a community level. So everyone was very actively doing things. And so we were kind of looking at these big issues and then the ways that people were addressing those things.
So you discover what makes towns rise and fall, and it's based on economic and social issues. They were front and center in the documentary, weren't they?
That's right. I mean, they're on a continuum of some towns having a harder time than others. And some towns that like Bend, Oregon, for instance, had a terrible time in the 80s, highest unemployment in the country. And now it's just really a boom town for tourism, remote work, just a lovely place. But Charleston, West Virginia, the first place we went to, just lost coal. Opioids are happening there at a terrible rate. So there's an arc of different ways towns have dealt and are dealing.
And was it difficult in choosing your final 8 towns for your documentary?
Well, we picked places that were spread out around the country. They're very different sizes. Eastport, Maine, which is the farthest east you can get in the United States. It's up in the corner next to Canada. It's 1,300 people. San Bernardino, California, it's a big city. So we were looking for different sizes and then different themes. As Jeannie said, you know, Bend, Oregon, where it was in its trajectory, or Columbus, Mississippi, which has a really interesting way of kind of dealing with its racial history and the Civil War. So we were looking at different themes in different places.
And with such serious issues with confronting these towns, did you have trouble getting people opening up or finding people to talk about these?
Really, quite the contrary. I mean, I couldn't believe how friendly and open people were. I went looking for the stories because we didn't do the same stories the Fallows had done in the book, because the book was a while ago and we wanted things that were happening right now. But so I would have to reach out to these towns, none of which we'd been in, except I'd been in Sioux Falls years ago, but and see if people were interested in helping from afar, and, you know, the newspaper, the library, whatever. And to a town, the people were so enthusiastic about helping us really show how their town worked. And we're all convinced their town was the best kept secret in America.
And when you completed your documentary, did you walk away? Which was your favorite town, or the one that you just found most fascinating? Oh, I think Steve's got an answer.
I mean, no, I was going to say that we don't have a favorite town, but in each place we, every time we would, have dinner at some point and say, I could live here. This place is amazing. But it also, I think it was just the kind of energy in the different towns that really knocked us out. And just one of the things about this film is that, we're used to seeing in, national media how toxic everything is and how everyone is, red state, blue state conflicts. But when you get on the ground level, people are dealing with a lot of different things, and that isn't the topic of conversation. So it was much richer, more textured experience than you would think from cable television.
I was just going to say, I have a real soft spot for Charleston, West Virginia, because it was the first town we went to, and it was kind of our proof of concept. And, HBO saw what we did there. It was a little scary. We didn't have our routines down yet. They were so great, and the town is fabulous.
I was going to say, I came away with a sense of hope after watching this, and just how connected America really is. I know the media loves to broadcast our differences and all the turmoil, but when you get down to America, I mean, we're all united. That's what I came away with, such a sense of hope after watching this.
Yeah, I mean, we don't normally walk around thinking of ourselves as patriotic in that sense. We don't have an American flag outside our house, but there was a way that there was this sense of our country is, it's incredibly diverse, both in the human landscape and the physical landscape. And, there really was this kind of spirit of, we can deal with it. We can find a way out. As Jim says, the American history is, we've always been in trouble, and we've always been getting ourselves out of trouble. And that's really what this film is about.
Well, Steve, Jeanne, congratulations on a wonderful documentary. Our Towns is now on HBO and HBO Max. And when you have a chance, come to Las Vegas. We'd love to have you.
Would love to. I've never been. So we're going to call you up when we come.
Please do. I'd love to meet you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, and
Okay.
congratulations.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot.